guys, welcome back. Happy Sunday. Oh my gosh, it's already November 4th. So last night I had a really interesting, fun, exciting night filled with comedy and laughs and just aha moments. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this encounter, actually a couple encounters I had yesterday. So I went to the Laugh Factory in West Hollywood, right? One of the most popular comedy clubs in LA. And I actually sat near the front, as I usually always do. And I sat next to this white guy. He probably could have been like in his, I don't know, maybe 40s, 50s. And he had like some salt and pepper, like gray looking hair. Nice looking, clean shaven and everything. Blue eyes. Not that matters, but I just kind of want to paint the picture for you guys, right? And so I sit next to him because it was the seat that was available that was close to the front, and I was like, okay, I get a good view of the stage. I sit next to him, and automatically, like when I sit down, he's like, hey, how you doing? And by the way, you guys, I am on the train. I can't show you guys exactly where I'm going, but I'll let you guys know. You guys will find out. And so he was like, just automatically, he was like talking to me. He's like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? He was like all bubbly and stuff and had a lot of energy and stuff. Hope you guys can hear me too, because I guess the motor and the AC and stuff from the train. So thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Hopefully you guys can. And so he just started talking, like he felt very, I guess, comfortable with me just to start telling me about his life, right? And he was like, yeah, I'm from Miami, and I'm here visiting just for one day, I'm here on business. I had some meetings I went to today, and I just want to kind of just chill and relax, and so I decided to come out here to the comedy club. It's like, yeah, I'm from Miami. I have a really nice house, a high rise. When you look out, oh shoot. Somebody just sat down in front of me. It was like when you look out my place, really? Okay. It was like when you look at my place, you see this really nice view of the ocean, and he was just like pumping up, where he lives out in Miami. I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, okay, but there's something to this. There's a reason why he's saying this. Right, and then he's like saying that he has a girlfriend, but she's back in Miami. She didn't come with him, I guess, on his business trip, right? And then he's like, yeah, my ex-wife. He's telling me his story about his ex-wife and how it just didn't work out. They were deeply in love. They have like 3 kids together, but it's like it just didn't work out. Like she was depressed, and it's like I told her to, get out, actually pay for her to go out on dates with men or something. I'm like, what? That's different. I'm just sitting here listening to him like, interesting story, right? And then he was like, so he told me all about his past life with his ex-wife and how he's dating this new woman, and they share this place in Miami, really nice place, he says. And then he was like, so what do you do? What's going on with you? And I was like, I'm actually, because he asked me, why are you here? And I was like, actually, I live here. Because he thought I was visiting. I was like, no, I actually live in LA, and I'm going to school out here. And he was like, oh, what are you studying? I said, I'm working towards my PhD in clinical psychology. He was like, oh. And then he started telling me about like his interests. Like, the dude is a genius. Like the way he was talking and stuff he was talking about like futurism, and how he follows this group on Reddit. I think something about futuristic something or futurism. He's into that. Basically, like he talked about like he was telling me about okay, now you guys probably already know, but I'm not going to San Diego. You guys will find out. So then he was telling me like how he was just like throwing off different names, right? These fancy terms, some of the stuff I didn't know about, and then he threw out like genetic editing, and I was like, what is genetic editing? And then he was just giving me this whole long spiel about what genetic editing was. I'm like, Okay, it sounds interesting. He was saying how basically scientists are in the process of finding ways to extend human life, extend the life expectancy so that we live past 80, because I think he said the average life expectancy is like 80 to 90 years old. So he was like, they're working on this technology that's going to increase life expectancy to like 140 years old. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But I say, okay, if they can do that, I'm sure they can do the reverse, right? Because he was talking about like genetic mutations and just going into this deep stuff. I'm like, dude, where the hell you learn all this stuff from? He was telling me how he's really interested and he follows certain groups, right, related to futurism. And then
we'll be getting underway here momentarily.
The way
we're having an issue with our onboard computer, but we should have it resolved in the next couple minutes.
Come on, we bullshitting. And so then the way he was talking as if, like, the stuff he was saying kind of reminded me of Mark Zuckerberg. So I was like, I wonder, have you ever met Mark Zuckerberg, or would you be interested in meeting him? Because I'm sure that you guys can bounce ideas off each other. Because dude was real deep into the stuff. Like, he was in there. Like, he was on a whole nother planet, right? And so it was like, no, he's never met Mark Zuckerberg, but he's interested in meeting one of the Facebook developers. He said the guy's name, I don't remember. And then he said that he knows a friend who's actually he has a friend who's actually friends with one of the Facebook developers who is responsible for like the front page of Facebook. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a small world. And I was like, that's interesting, right? But I just find it interesting how dude was just so open. Dude was so open with me. Like, he was just telling me all his personal stuff. Like, dude, maybe it's alcohol, I don't know, right? So that was at the comedy club, and I'm talking about, because I got there maybe like, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes before the show started. So being I got there early, we both were there early, we're just kind of sitting there chatting, and he talking like he knew me for many years and stuff. I'm pretty sure the beer that he was drinking probably had something to do with it, right? And so after the show, because like actually during the show, I remember he just kept looking at me. Like every time he laughed, he would look at me. It's like, okay, you're trying to share laughs with me. So sometimes I will look back, but sometimes I was like, okay, that's a little too much. And so then after the show, right, he looked at me and he was like, I hope you have a nice night. I said, actually, I'm going to the second show, because I went to both shows. I had tickets to the 7:30 show and the 9:30 show. And then he was like, oh, so I hope you enjoyed the show. And he was like, sorry for running my mouth too much. And I was like, you okay? It's just making conversation or whatever. Right? It's so interesting that, like, random people I meet, I swear, they just be telling me their whole life story. And it probably has a lot to do with the fact that I have really good listening. And I think I would like to say that I'm pretty approachable, although there's one person that's saying, oh, you're not approachable. I'm like, no, that's your own stuff. I'm pretty approachable when in public. Like, people usually don't hesitate to approach me. Hi, guys. For you guys who are tuning in, where are you guys watching from? So I was like, I know, I'm pretty approachable, right? And so, yeah, that was that. And then on my ride home, on the train, another guy, he was a black guy, actually. And he was well-dressed, well-groomed. And then he was looking at me. And then I guess he was thinking, like, dang, how can I say this to her, right? And I'm looking back at him because you feel when somebody's looking at you. So I'm looking back at him. And I'm like, okay, is he gonna... Wait, what time is it? What time is it? Okay, I'm supposed to have been left. So I'm looking at him. I'm like, okay, he got something to say, right? And so then he looked up at me. He was like, can I ask you a question? And I'm tired. At this point, it was like probably 2 o'clock in the morning. So like, the girl was tired. I'm like, I ain't really trying to make conversation. The girl is tired. But he was pretty persistent. And he was like, so, I've been wondering. He was like, I was talking to this girl and we broke up, but I still have feelings for her, and I want to go and like he said, I've been going to visit her. Like, times I would just go and show up at her place and go visit her. And he was like, is that like stalking? I'm like, what? First of all, why do you feel so comfortable to tell me your personal business that you is still having feelings for this woman, right? So he was like, yeah, I have really deep feelings for her, but we broke up. We decided it wasn't working out, but I've been going to visit her. And he was like, I'll just go and stop by her house, sometimes, and I'll take the train all the way to her house. And I'm wondering, like, should I be doing that when she didn't invite me over or whatever, when it's unexpected? And he's trying to get my perspective on it, right? So I'm like, what do you think? You tell me. I said, what do you think? Y'all broken up, y'all done with each other, right? But you obviously still have feelings for her. I'm like, what do you think? And he was like, well, I don't know, I think it could be stalking. I was like, well, what makes you think it could be stalking? And he told me that, she doesn't want him to come over, I guess. Like, she's not inviting this guy over. So I'm like, okay, so if your conscience is telling you that it's stalking, then chances is your ass is stalking. You might not want to do that. Because if she don't want you to come over and you doing it unexpectedly, what's up, Eugene? Like, yes, that's stalking. If you're doing it unexpectedly, then that could present a problem, legal issues, let alone psychological. So I'm like, yeah, you might not want to do that. And he was like, okay, thank you. And then, like, for the rest of the ride, like, he had his head down. Like, he was just so sad. I was like, Lord. But I just find it interesting how people, they feel so comfortable, like, talking to me, approaching me, and it's crazy, y'all. People be coming up to me telling me, like, all their personal business. And not just men, women, too. I'm like, maybe I just have this inviting personality, but okay, what is going on? When are we gonna leave, man?
Hey there, how's it
Hi,
going?
good.
Need a ticket?
What time are we leaving?
We should be leaving within the next 2 minutes.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
It takes what? How many?
30 minutes once we leave.
Okay, thanks.
Hey there, go ahead and get you guys.
True that. So, what y'all doing?
Tickets
I'm about
already,
to.
folks.
I am about to head to the movies in this other city. That's not even that far from LA. I'm gonna go meet up with some colleagues and go check out this movie for the third time. I was like, they invited me to come, and I was like, y'all, I already seen this movie twice already, and I did a movie review, but hey, I'm gonna go check it out again, because every time you see a movie, I believe that it's a different experience, and you see something maybe that you didn't notice before. So who knows? We'll see. And then we're supposed to have like a discussion afterwards, so we'll see how this goes. Why did she put? Maybe because she didn't give me one. This train reminds me of the Long Island Railroad train I used to take religiously when I was in New York. Can't wait, y'all. Can't wait. Next month I'm gonna be in New York. This right here. It's a pretty peaceful day. Pretty peaceful. Can't wait till we get going. So I hear that this train rides the coast, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not really going that far, so I'm probably not gonna be able to see much of the Pacific Ocean. We shall see. I want to show you guys, like, give you guys a tour. I'll probably just come back. I'm in this video and I'll come back because they taking forever to leave. I'm like, can we go already? But anyway, I think it's really funny, man. Like, hey, and the dude might come across this video and see this video, man. No harm intended. I'm just saying, it's not just you. It's just people. I don't know. I've had that experience a lot. People just want to share their whole life story with me. And I'm like, do I have therapists written across my forehead? I don't know. I've had women crying. I'm like, dude, this is too much. This is just too much, I'm not trying to be a therapist. I'm like, and then he was asking me about psychology. Like, we talked for a good while. And he was just asking me about, oh, so being that you study psychology, I'm curious, does that change your perspective of people? Like, how do you see them, And I say, well, actually, having an understanding for human behavior makes me less judgmental of people. And he was like, oh. He was like kind of surprised by that, shocked. And he was like, because I know with the police, people who work in criminal justice, being that they see all these different kind of people who commit criminal acts, he says that it could change their perspective on people and make them look at people through a negative lens. I say, well, no. Actually, psychology is slightly different, although they're closely related. Two different disciplines, two different theoretical approaches. And so psychologists tend to not look at people through a bad lens. Unfortunately, you do have some psychologists who do. Like I already talked about that in several videos ago. How, yeah, some psychologists, they still do look at people through a negative lens. But for me, you know, since my experience with studying psychology, it makes me have a deeper understanding of people. And with that understanding, I'm less judgmental. Because like in criminology, there's this, I think, what is it called, choice theory, where basically it's saying that people have a choice in life on their behavior. They don't really take into consideration the cultural context or the historical context and all these other variables that could impact an individual's behavior. They're saying in criminology that ultimately people have the choice to choose whatever they end up doing. So you got kids that want to go in the grocery store and steal because they're trying to get food. They're like, that's their choice. It has nothing to do with the social context. Whereas psychologists, we tend to consider many different variables, not just looking at the individual person, but looking at the context in which the individual person lives in and isn't affected by. So that's pretty much the main difference. And that's what I was telling him. He was like, oh. I just find it interesting. He was just so like, oh, kind of up in my face. It's like really, like, didn't break eye contact. He was just like this, and you know, of course, I think I was intrigued by the conversation because I like intellectual conversation. So the stuff that he was talking about, even though I was somewhat unfamiliar with it, I could understand what he was saying. I was like, this is some pretty deep stuff. It's kind of scary. He was talking about different names of people who, he talked about like the founder of PayPal and just different names, big names of people in the tech industry and how they are trying to create these launches to space and just explore different space and create life on different planets. Like, he was going like really deep, y'all. I was like, okay. And I'm like, I wonder, I'm like, dude, you got really close. And I'm like, I wonder, does your girlfriend back in Miami know that you're having a deep conversation with an African American woman? Like, does she know this? I'm pretty sure she does. But who knows what their relationship is like? But hey, I'm about to end this video. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. And okay, we pulling out. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. All right, bye.